let's roll off into this difficult thing. Now, I made a deal with Ashley behind the scenes here. I'm starting to see a different side of this. I was going through all of this last night, just to wrap my head around this whole thing, to try and make sense of every bit of it. And I started to see a different picture that I don't think anybody else is bringing up. So she's going to share her thoughts. I will give you my thoughts on it. I will give a little bit of feedback here and there and things like that. But she's going to give you her thoughts on this. And next week, when I actually have time to sit down and lay it all out for you, I'm going to give you my thoughts. And I'm actually going to do it in a segment. I'm going to call it tinfoil time. I'm going to wear a tinfoil hat and all, so you all know it's some weird things. But it is disturbing looking. Y'all watch out for that next weekend. But let's roll off into this. As a matter of fact, let's just go ahead and play the whole video real quick. I'm going to hit the bathroom while this plays, too. I got a headset, so.
Because I drew a boundary. No, you just did it. I drew a boundary of abusive and cruel. You were not taking the car. Because if you refuse to do wifely things, then I will go pick up the groceries.
There's no groceries. I do have
steaks, wood pellets, my grill. I know it's an unreasonable request, but I'll go do it. How about you first? Hillary, how do you respect the man? Yes. How do you man respect? How do you man receive love like that? No. How do you man respect? No, you're not taking the car.
Steven,
you're not taking the car.
Steven,
you are not.
Then I will ask someone to pick me up. Would you like me to ask?
Oh, that's right.
It's not correct, Steven.
Get an Uber.
Okay, Steven, I can't.
Feeling some constraints?
Steven.
Like, I can't go. Listen to me. You want to walk out right now? Listen to me. I can't go to the gym. I can't go to my parents. I can't call my friends. I can't be home. You're going to take the car and leave me here. Hillary, just think of how boxed in you've made me.
What do you need me to pick up? I'll get it. I'll be back when I'm back.
No, that doesn't work either. You'll be back when you're back. That doesn't work either.
Steven,
Do you understand the difference between my life being set to the second and you going, I'll be back when I'm back?
Steven.
The only way out of this is discipline and respect. It's the only way out of it, or we're at an impasse.
We are at an impasse.
Good. Because you can't have any discipline or respect.
Steven.
Yeah. There you go. You throw your hand, you give up so easily.
I don't give up, Steven.
Hillary, you give up so easily. I just said the only way out of this is discipline and respect. You said, then we're at an impasse.
Steven, no, we are at an impasse, okay? I love you, but Steven, your abuse is sick. Your abuse
Watch it.
is sick.
Watch it. Fucking watch it.
I'm gonna let go. I'll get what you need me to get. And I need some space. We need to just stop engaging for a little bit, okay? I love you. I love you very much.
I don't love you. That's the big problem. I've never received love from you. And the fact is, when I go, look, I need you to do A, B, C, and D, you just be disciplined about it. You go, no. But I love you more than life itself. Okay. Put on some gloves. No. But I love you more than life itself. That's not fair. That's not fair, and it's disingenuous. Hillary, you're right. We're at an impasse. Become someone, listen to me, day in and day out, worthy of a wife. No, not as a wife. I didn't say as a wife. Hillary, come on now.
I'm not gonna engage. I'm not gonna engage anymore. I'm gonna go. I'll text me what you need. I'll get you what you need. I love you. I'm committed to you.
Put on some gloves. Are you committed enough to do those things?
I'm not trying to.
Are you committed enough to do those things? You're not committed to anything. You're not committed to anything. You just said I love you. I'm committed to you. Walk the dogs. Put on some gloves. Walk the dogs. Put on some gloves. Are you committed enough to do those things? Are you committed enough to do those things? Are you committed enough to do those things?
I'm gonna just
walk the dogs. Put on some gloves. Are you committed enough to get the medication the dogs take? No, you take Betty.
Okay. So there's lots of stuff in there. I'm gonna be as charitable as possible with this one, okay? And a lot of people keep saying we shouldn't be talking about Crowder's divorce and personal life and yada, yada, yada. Well, it's out there now. So he's the one who announced his divorce. He's the one who kind of brought this on himself. Although there were rumors swirling about it prior to him announcing it, because I had seen it the day before. Other people had seen tweets come up about it, but he could have just let that swirl, and just dealt with that. But he's the one who kind of made this statement. And in my opinion, threw his wife under the bus, because he could have done it in such a way like, yes, I'm getting divorced. It's nobody's fault. This is what we're choosing to do. And please respect our privacy during this time. That it could have, or just, we're getting a divorce. Please respect our privacy. Please don't talk about it. We don't want to talk about it publicly until it's resolved. That could have been a very easy thing. But what he did instead was essentially blame his wife for the whole thing and act like she is leaving. Just because she wants to, which I have problems with. Because then when you see this, I'm not one to just go straight to, oh, he's a horrible POS abusive, blah, 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 blah. I'm not really one to, they're having like a million different fights right now of things that have obviously been points of contention for
a while.
And if, I think it's hard. I've been in a relationship for 12 years. So essentially the entire time that they they get married or got together in 2012. I think I read, I guess I'm not sure which one, if they got together or got married in 2012, but I've been in a relationship since 2011. So basically the whole time. And I will say, like, when you have points of contention that add up over time, like, you can be arguing about something that's very surface level, but it has deeper, like, meaning, essentially, right? Like, which I'm sure, like, I'm sure anybody who's been in a relationship for a really long time, been married for a really long time, there's stuff like that. There's stuff that just keeps coming up and you keep fighting about it over and over. You keep having the same argument over and over. And it might be triggered by different things. Now, all of that being said, I think, like, the video is also edited in weird places where he starts, he's saying something and you would think it would be her response, and then it cuts. And I had a lot of issues with that. And I even asked, I tweeted at the, which I got hounded on Twitter for daring to ask why the most, what's the word I'm looking for? The most incriminating part of the video is not there. And there's no audio included, like, which is the end, the I will F you up part. But there's no proof of that. We're just doing source trust me, bro, on that one, right?
Pretty much, yes.
Yeah, and that bothers me, okay? Because this reporter is the only one who has this information, right? There's been no corroborating evidence. There's been no other, he didn't release the audio and I asked him why. I said, why isn't this part, and I screenshot part of the article. I said, why is this part not included? Why is there no evidence for this? People immediately went, oh, you're defending him. No, I'm asking a question, because I can look at this video and go, yeah, he's completely out of line. He's completely out of line with the way he's speaking to his wife. He literally told her, I don't love you. That's pretty messed up. I don't think as mad as my husband and I have ever been at each other, I don't think that's ever came out of either one of our mouths, not once. And that's just the thing. Like, he crossed a lot of boundaries there and he crossed a lot of lines. But the leaving out that part of it, because that takes it from he's crossing boundaries, he's crossing lines in how he's speaking, to that would be a physical threat, right? Like, that's my issue, is like, that's the most incriminating part, and we have no actual proof that happened. And then, like, people are saying, well, Crowder admitted to it. He admitted, yeah, and the reporter is also just saying that. Like, he's just saying the things he reviewed, that's what happened. And I'm just not one, because I know that if you've been with somebody for a really long time and somebody cut 3 minutes out of a fight that you had been having, it would look really bad for somebody or both of you. And I think the thing is like, he's crossing a lot of boundaries, but who's to say that she hasn't also crossed boundaries? He's also, that's what frustrates me the most. It's like, I can watch this and be like, this is not okay. But we also do not have the full picture. We do not have the full context. Her body language is kind of concerning to me. She's very anxious. She's very like, she keeps trying to leave. She keeps saying, I'm going to disengage. He mocks her. He continues to pick at her and go after her. And all of these things, like there's all these like little nuances where I'm like, like who's the aggressor, right? Is like, because you can like, and there's a lot of times where like you could start a fight and maybe just be like, okay, this is like, I didn't mean to like do this, or I didn't mean for it to get, you know, this heated or whatever. And then be like, okay, I'm going to disengage and I want to walk away. And the other, now you've got the other person riled up and they want like, so it's just really difficult. And, you know, I like Crowder. But the thing is like, yeah, obviously not okay, bro. And he didn't really deny this on his like last statement, right? Like that was the other part that really bothered me about this is like, he could have come out and said, you know, that video that he said it was edited deceptively, right? And he said that he made mistakes and yada yada, but he actually didn't deny saying, I will F you up. So to me, after seeing that part of it, it's like, well, he probably did say that then. And then now he's threatening to you know, he said he moved to unseal all the records and mental health checks and stuff. So it's like, okay, are you going to try to make your wife look crazy instead of just admitting that, like, yeah, I've said some really messed up stuff that I should have never ever come out of my mouth, and I take account. You know what I mean? Like, that's when I'm like, and I'm just kind of going through this as I saw all this information. It's like, you know, you see his statement on the divorce, you see this video, you see his next statement, and none of it looks good. Like,
no,
I don't necessarily think he's like, I don't think he's being physically, you know, just based off of what we know. I don't think that's what's happening. I think he's definitely doing some emotional manipulation for sure. But what really sucks is that everybody just is very, very quick to just jump to immediate side and go, he's a horrible, horrible person, and she's the victim, and all of these things, right?
Right.
But I know that there are men who are good men who, you know, can do really shitty stuff, can do really bad stuff, you know, depending on mental health stuff going on. Like maybe Crowder's super freaking depressed and he's taking that out in anger, and he's crossing boundaries in a way that's not okay because he feels so, you know what I mean? Like it's like he's got a lot of eyes on him. He's the target of all this criticism all the time. He's got all this pressure. He's now like in this clip, he's about to have 2 babies, which puts a lot of pressure on anybody. I don't think people realize how much becoming a father can put pressure on a man, and then you have 2 at the same time. It's a lot to deal with. So it's just one of those things. Like, that's just, I just keep coming back to, it's not okay. I completely disavow how he is acting towards his very pregnant wife. That's the other part that kind of, sorry. And I'm like really taking, like, I'm just really ranting on this one, but I just had
go ahead. Lay it all out.
I had so many thoughts. And like, the problem is there's people on 2 different sides with the whole pregnancy thing. People are like, she's just because she's pregnant doesn't mean blah, blah, blah. Well, she's pregnant with twins, and she's 8 months pregnant with twins. And for him to sitting here saying, go walk the dog, like, bro, I couldn't do that. Like, I have twins, if anybody didn't know that. And when I was 27 weeks pregnant, I went into preterm labor. I had my twins 10 weeks early, but when in between, like, I was in the hospital for like a week, I got discharged and was able to get out. But I had to, like, just to go to the grocery store, I had to ride like a little scooter around because I wasn't allowed to walk that far. Like, I literally was not allowed to walk. And she's like 8 months pregnant. So I was only like almost 7 months pregnant when that happened to me, you know, like, and she's much farther along. I think she did have complications during her pregnancy too, that, you know, twins are just automatically high risk. So that's completely just, again, I think it's just, these are a lot of different fights that are all happening at once and points of contention that have probably been happening for a long time, and they're hitting a breaking point, but he's being completely unreasonable in telling her to walk the dog or be around medication that could not be safe for her during pregnancy. And just the way he's like like, I don't know, just the way he's talking, it's like he's just being completely unreasonable, and she's trying to disengage the whole time. So yeah, I think he's probably just in the wrong in this instance, and perhaps there's a toxic element within their whole relationship, but we don't know that. We just don't know. It could have just been, it could have been the pinnacle of their fighting, not, like, and then they got a divorce after. Who fucking knows?
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to give you my take on this, but before I do, Mark Ryan says, I don't have a ring, so I don't know for sure, but I'm a conspiracy theorist. I heard Ring doesn't hold video for 2 years. No, there is a limit to how much they hold. So the fact that this just now surfaced, I mean, this was back in what, August of something? August of 21? Something like that?
Yeah, somewhere around there.
So no, this would have already been deleted had it not been for, and I wasn't going to go ahead and bring this up at all, but it would have been deleted had it not been for the filing date, 12/7 of 2021. Okay.
Yeah, this was already pulled for court use well before this.
Yes.
People aren't paying attention to the timeline whatsoever.